Bum bum bottom bum 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 bottom bum bum bottom bum 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 bottom. Oh my God, these feelings just begun. I'm saying things I've never said, doing things I've never done. Oh my God, when I see you I shoot it right. But I'm frozen in motion and my head tells me to stop. Tells me to stop. Feelings I feel about us. Try to fight it but it's never enough. My heart is hurting, it's more than a crush. Cause I'm frozen in motion and my head tells me to stop. But my heart goes bum 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 bum. Cause my heart goes bum 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 bum. Oh my God, can't believe what I've become. I'm thinking things I shouldn't think, singing songs I've never sung. Oh my God, when I see you I should run. But I'm frozen in motion and my head tells me to stop. Tells me to stop. Feelings I feel about us. Try to fight it but it's never enough. My heart is hurting, it's more than a crush. Cause I'm frozen in motion and my head tells me to stop. But my heart goes bum bottom bum 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 bottom bum bum bottom bum 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 bottom. Cause my heart goes bum bottom bum 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 bottom bum bum bottom bum 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 bottom. But my heart goes bum bottom bum bum bottom bum bottom bum bum bottom. Cause my heart goes bum bottom bum 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 bottom bum bottom bum bum bottom. My head and my heart, my head and my heart, I can tell them apart. I can't help me to run, but I can. Cause my heart goes bum 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 bum. Cause my heart goes bum 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 bum. Oh my God, this feeling's just begun. Saying things I've never said, doing things I've never done. Oh my God, when I see you I should it right. But I'm frozen in motion and my head tells me to stop. But my heart goes.
Na, sziasztok srácok! Szép estét mindenkinek! Tehát, ahogy ígértem tegnap, elérkeztünk ahhoz a ponthoz, amikor meg fogjuk nézni a férfi egyéni versenyt, ami ma volt fél háromtól. Annyit kell tudni, hogy ez ugyanaz a versenynek a úgymond a lebonyol, le, lebonyolítása, mint ugye a tegnapi női versenyi, csak annyi az egész, hogy itt a táv az teljesen más. A nőknél volt 15, a férfiaknál pedig 20 lesz. Úgyhogy ez a más, úgyhogy nem is húzó tovább az időt, kezdjük is el a férfi versenyt. Benne ugye velem, mint ugye kommentátor, és ugye a angol kommentátor még mellette. Na nézzük gyorsba, meccsünk még amit kell hozzá. Videórezet eszközni, videórezet eszközni, jó, mikrofon jó, asztal jó, és akkor kezdhetünk neki. Úgyhogy jó szórakozást ugye mindenkinek. A szokásos bejátszás, ugye még mindig Szlovéniában vagyunk, Pokjukában, úgyhogy na nézzük a Zsákfán itt a képen, aki éppen jó kedvében van. Na nézzük. 12-essel fog indulni Alexander Loginov, aki ugye Antwerpba nyert meg a utolsó egyéni versenyt, még így a világbajnokság előtt. Fiomai jön 15-össel. Johannes Bő, aki vezette az összetett világkupát, ő fog 28-assal. Hát a novigokra majd ráfér már a jó szereplés. Jakov Fák fog indulni 30-assal. Ant Peifer 61-essel. És 66-ossal Legreid, aki ugye vezeti az egyéni szakági kupát, és ugye vezeti az U25-öt, és ezért van piros, osztott kék trikóban. Az első induló a kanadai Go, a fiatalabbik. Reméljük, hogy ez a verseny is okoz kisebb meglepetéseket, mint a női verseny tegnap, hogy ugye Marketa Davidova lett a világbajnok. Ugye holnap lesz a vegyes páros verseny, azaz egy van holnap. Péntek és szombaton lesz a váltóversenyek, ugye pénteken a női értelemszerűen, szombaton a férfi, és akkor vasárnap pedig a 2 darab tömegrajtossal zárul a VB, és egy ilyen kisebb egyhetes szünet után jön majd egy hosszú hétvége majd a világkupába, ugye majd Csehországba, Novemesztóba, úgyhogy majd érdekes lesz. Na, itt a pálya közben az uraknak. Ugye beszéltem arra hogy tegnap, hogy a hölgyek se szeretik ezt a szakágat. Hát a férfiak sem, úgyhogy...
Start, first flat part, to get the speed, short, not too steep climb, 180, left turn, right turn, and entering into almost 400 meters long sand. Very tricky. Left turn with speed. And back in way to the top in next very steep ascent. Second split time. And back to the stadium.
Na, a startista, akkor ugye itt ugye góra kell figyelni. Finello, Nalin. Finellóra kell majd figyelni. Nalinre ugye. Loginov, Dale, Destű, Samuelson ugye. Bő. Hát még Fákról is azt mondom, hogy még rá is azért. Hófer még oké. Eliszejevre, Végerre. Dóra is. Benedikt Dóra is. Lehet figyelni. És indul egy magyar ugye. Gyalai Soma 55-össel. Megnézzük, hogy mit tud a ifjú magyar. Na, Pejfer ugye. Román Rész, aki ugye nem vett részt. Szerintem ő most a Ibukupa miatt jött át ide. Leitnerre figyeljünk még. Hát nézzük hát, hogy hátra még vannak olyan nevek, akik Garanyicsev, Johannes Kühn. Jó, hát még Julian Eberhard, Martin Jäger is még odaérhet talán az első háromba. Ugye itt ugye, úgy mint ugye hát a nőknél, itt se kell ugye futni aki ugye elhibázza a lövészetet és minden egyes büntető körért. 1 perc a idő büntetés, és itt nem kell futni büntető kört. Itt ez a szabály íródott már meg nagyon régóta.
Obviously the men's individual today, we've got 5 more races remaining. We're racing tomorrow, day off on Friday, the relays on Saturday, and then on Sunday, for many the highlight, the mass starts, top 30 in terms of form, all racing in the mass starts, so much at stake this year. Now, Sweden lying third in the medal table, Mike, it's been a good championships for them, and of course they'll be hoping that either Ponzalomo or Samuelsson can do something. The Canadians, well, I've been pretty impressed with the Gao brothers so far.
Yes, very much. 17th Christian in the sprint competition. That's top class racing. He hit all 10. If he hits all 20 today again, a real opportunity for, I think, a top 5.
Yeah, 17 in the sprint, 13th in the pursuit, but missed 3 on the first stand shoot. So if Christian can hit the standing targets today, he could be in the money. Jeremy Finello goes next for Switzerland. Disastrous sprint, finished 73rd, didn't get a chance to race in the pursuit. And his personal best is 15th in World Cup. So anything in the top 20 goes down as a good day.
Yes, and his form, his shooting was good in Antholz, wasn't it? His second best race at 17th position. He missed 3, so good ski speed.
Now, the next man was on the verge of taking a medal at the Olympics in Pyeongchang. He shot 0-0-0 and then had a meltdown. 3 misses on that last shoot, pushed him all the way down to 24th position. Should he get to the last shoot, having not missed a target, that is going to be a big test for Jesper Nellin.
It really is, Patrick, and you know, so many times he's had some difficulty on that last time in, and Antholz only 3 weeks ago it won 0-0, and then he missed 4 last time in, so it's a kind of a bad habit he's got himself into.
Yeah, Nellin, his skis are gliding beautifully, Mike, out of the stadium. It took him about half a second to get up to max velocity. And absolutely sensational skiing. It'd be interesting to see his first split. Usov is next for Moldova. He's not too hot in terms of the shooting this year. 73-73. He's 10 percentage points below the average performer in the top 30. He's a long way behind the men that have been winning this year. Now, here's a man that has won, and what a sensational win it was.
It really was, Patrick. I don't think we've seen anything quite like it. He had total confidence, total self-belief, and risked incredibly fast shooting, but he knew he could hit them all, and he did just that in the pursuit. He does the same again today. He'll win again.
One of only 4 men to have won the World Championship pursuit on 2 or more occasions. Jacquelin winning in Antholz, winning here in Pokjuka just a couple of days ago, and he shot the perfect 0. A perfect 0 could do him well. Comes from Villard-de-Lans, of course, which is where Martin Fourcade comes from. There's something in their bread, Mike, that produces some astonishing athletes.
Very much. I think it helps that they have that beautiful 30-lane range as well, and the club developments there are quite excellent. In fact, it's the Raphael Poiré range, isn't it? Named after the great Raphael Poiré.
Now, Tarjei Bø, first of the Norwegians to start, the world champion in this event back in 2011. That, incidentally, the only time he's won an individual race at World Cup or major championship level. So Tarjei, he knows he can do it, but it's been a long time, 10 years since he struck gold.
I don't like talking about it, but Tarjei sadly has had a bad habit as well in this race of missing 2 on the last time in. The 2 events this season, he missed 2 last time in, and it was really significant. Take those 2 away both times, he could have podiumed. So a little difficulty dealing with that final couple of shots quite often.
Yeah, the individual crystal globe up for grabs as well due to the new regulations that were decided in November. Lygrid, Loginov and Johannes Tingesbø, the 3 men that could win the individual crystal globe. Lygrid in the driving seat, having had a first and a second. If he goes top 2, or if he wins, he's certainly not going to be bettered. Here we go with Ponzalomo, and
aki már ugye idén a 10 km világbajnoka itt Pokjukában.
And Mike, can he do it again? He didn't have so much success in the pursuit.
Well, I think he has the potential. He showed that how calm he was day one in the sprint to hit all 10 for the first time this season. He had a long chat with his dad the evening before. I hope he has done the same last night. And his father, of course, Jyrki Pokjuka, he came 8th in cross-country skiing at the Albertville Olympics, so he knows what it feels like on the skis. But his father was telling him, hey, it's one shot at a time. You do it every day in training. Don't make a big deal of it. And he said that really was what calmed him down for the sprint.
Yeah, trying to pretend you're training rather than racing for a world title. Not easily done. Jake Brown. Now, he's done fantastically well here. Jake 12th in the sprint event, dropped to 25th in the pursuit, but points in both races. A PB for him in the sprint event, never better 12. It'd be fantastic to see him back up in the top 15 today. And he starts with a purpose.
It's strange, isn't it? Well, once you've had your personal best and it's that good at a World Championships, he's got to be walking a little taller, feeling a little more confident.
Alexander Loginov. Aki, hogyha minden négyszer hibátlan lő, akkor őt lehetetlen megfogni. Tehát megnézzük, hogy most mit tud.
Provided he doesn't get beaten by Ligrid, we'll see him challenging for the Crystal Globe. Mike, he's one of those men who shot 0-0-0 here last year in the individual, then missed 2 on the last shoot, pushing him down outside the top 15.
It's incredible. We know the skills are excellent, and at the World Championships last year, finishing 15th, 1-0-1, and missed 3 on the last time in. Take them away, he was 3rd position.
Tischenko.
Yeah, Tischenko for Ukraine. Incidentally, the RBU, the Russian Biathlon Union, yet to take a medal from these championships. They've come close, but maybe today is their best chance.
Yes, Mironova was pretty close yesterday in the women's field. Tishenko, he's good on the big day. Remember at the Olympics, he hit all 20.
Szerintem már fogunk érkezni az első lövészetre már majd lassan. 14-esen indul a kazak Alexander Mukhin.
And he'll be followed by Canton Filmaye, who is certainly one of the favourites. In fact, Filmaye, teammate of course of Jacquelin, who goes through 1.9, not quite the fastest, but no concern at this stage. Filmaye with a 6th and a 4th. He's going in the right direction. He's had a 4th and a 3rd in the 2 individuals this year, missing just 1 shot in Kontiolahti. A 19 out of 20 might see him in the medals and challenging Norway for the top position on the medal table.
Tizenhatosan Miha Dovzan, a egyik hazai versenyző, szlovén. Közben tárgyább is elhaladt már 1,9 km-es pontnál. 18-assal a bulgár Vladimir Iliev. Aki hasonló egyidős Jakofákkal, úgyhogy már ő sem fiatal. Közben Martin Ponszóban is érkezik, és átveszem is 1,9 km-nél finálútól.
particularly, Mike, if the conditions get a little bit faster, which they may well do as it starts to cool. Simon Eder, a man who now we expect him to hit 20 out of 20. His shooting has been so good this year.
Yeah, it's been wonderful, and he's one of the few athletes who has equalled his father in this event. Well, that was 3 years ago when he took bronze in this event. And of course, his father had taken that. That was 2016. His father won the bronze medal in Oslo at the World Championships in 1986. So father-son, the same medal, 30 years apart.
Yeah, Simon 8th in Antolz, shooting 0.001. He's got a 95% hit rate for the season as we watch Emilien Jacquelin, the bronze medalist from the sprint, the gold medalist from the pursuit. All his focus, Mike, for the last year has been on that pursuit. Quite interesting to hear him talk as we watch Johannes Dahle. And actually, we better focus on Dahle because he certainly is a potential winner. 4th in the overall World Cup standings. And in terms of individuals, Mike, he's down in 23rd. So maybe this isn't his best chance.
You know, Dahle, we saw him when he won his first World Cup and the emotions were pouring out. He really wanted his success. And I think he tried. In this event, if you try too hard through the rifle, the release of the shot doesn't go easy. You put tension through the rifle. I hope he can relax today. Finello, the wind there, it's not difficult today, much the same as the zeroing. The flag's just a little wobble from the left.
Megérkezett Nelin is.
Now, a big moment for Nelin. Needs to remember his Olympic effort. That's a lovely shot to start. Built his position well. Good grouping so far from Nelin. And as soon as I say that, he throws one way low right. And that was a bad shot. Well, that's disappointing, Mike. The zero is obviously good. That was just discipline.
It was discipline, and he really has taken a long time there. I mean, this is old in terms of shooting times, very old biathlon, but we've seen more and more this season that the top biathletes are taking it easy. They don't want to risk anymore, except for Jacquelin, who blew that theory out of the water with incredibly fast shooting to win the pursuit.
But as I say that, Mike, one factor we don't talk about too often is the ammunition. How often do you see a round fly off to the low right, like we've just seen from Jacquelin?
Well, I think that's more nerves. Jacquelin was trying to get that first shot so fast, he wasn't centered. I don't think he was aimed properly. 27 seconds. He had to back off the pace, I think, after that big mistake shot one.
Sebastian Samuelsson.
Sebastian Samuelsson. He has a silver medal around his neck. In fact, he has 2 medals because he was part of the Swedish mixed relay team that did so well. And then a fantastic run from him in the pursuit. Out sprinting Johannes Dahle over the last 100 metres. Good tactics, I thought, from Samuelsson on that last lap of the pursuit.
Very, very much so, but it must be frustrating. Johannes Tingesbø getting outmaneuvered just, 300 meters to go. He doesn't have the sting, the punch of a sprint finish. And here's big brother Dahle. Wouldn't he love to win it again, 10 years apart from when he won it in Russia in Hanti-Mansisk? Again, low right. What's happening again? He needs to adjust those sights. Up 3, left 4.
Trouble is, he doesn't know where he's missing, but that's his... well, that's definitely the gold medal gone, Mike. Just watch the reaction. That is desperate after just 4 kilometers of skiing. He is out of the race. Siggy Mazet does not look happy with that. And I think that will make Mazet a little bit nervous when the rest of the Norwegian team come in, Mike. Is that possibly the zero, or is it the fact that he just didn't build his position properly?
You know, I think it, but he's so accurately there at 5 o'clock, 4 o'clock on the rim, on the edge. But, you know, it's a 45 mil target, and he's all down in that 10 mil section, accurate. But Mazet, I think, will be radioing out to the coaches and just saying, warning, from our zero, Tarja's way low right, just to let them know.
So the sprint gold medalist hit 10 out of 10 on that occasion. Not today. There's something funny going on in the range. We wouldn't expect so many to miss early on. Is the pace too high? Ponzalomo certainly chancing his arm. 10 seconds inside Cloud on that first run, but 2 misses and unlikely to add to his medal tally as Johannes Tingisbo with a new haircut sets off from the starting gate here in Pokjuka, looking for one of the titles that he has yet to win. He's won 5 of the 7 disciplines in the World Championships. The pursuit and the individual have denied him so far.
Well, Jakub Fak starting now, Patrick. He'll be aware that big names like Ponzalomo, he's a gold medalist here, and Tarje Bø missing 3 and 2. He'll be aware of that in the back of his mind, I think, Jakub Fak, and I'm sure we'll see him shooting carefully, slowly, and hopefully accurately.
Loginov of Russia on his way towards the range. Now let's try and pick up his split time. Last split I had on Loginov, he was 17 seconds off the pace, Mike. So he's picked up on Cloud, but that's not the quickest time into the range, and we'll see what Loginov can do. He shot 0 to win in Antolz.
He did, and that was brilliant. I'm really surprised. Only 3 from the first 10. I've hit 5 out of 5. There's not much wind. It's maybe it's about pressure. Top left this time, Loginov.
Well, he didn't hang around. One of the quickest shoots so far, 29.2. Jacquelin was 27 point something, and shooting pretty quickly for the individual. There will be those who panic and think nothing to lose. Let's let rip. 53 seconds outside. Cloud stays the unlikely leader for Belgium, and I think there'll be a big smile on Mickey Roche's face watching this at the moment. It was usually him who led for Belgium in the early stages of races, particularly the relays.
Jake Brown, good to see Jake Brown, calm, easy. That's a good pace as well, so a very good start for the American also.
Now, Phil Maillet, fastest on the track so far, 7 seconds quicker than Vindish. He was 8.5 seconds quicker than his teammate Jacquelin. He's going for broke. Can he hit 5? Still only 4 athletes clear on this first shoot.
Top left. So painful. You've just skied 4 kilometers. It's a 20-kilometer race, and then you're picking up 1-minute penalties early on. It's soul destroying.
This is a bit of a nightmare for the coaches. Some of the big names going low right, some of the big names going high left. What advice do you give your athletes who are out on the tracks at the moment?
It's difficult, isn't it? I think you just let them be. They're going to have to just look at the flags as they come in. Maybe the Norwegians with the big name Tarje Bø missing 3. That was completely unexpected. And for me, it's amazing because look at the flags. They're 5 grams in weight. The wind, a breeze normally moves them. They're mostly hanging dead.
Dojan, who's had 2 pretty respectable results so far. He hit 10 out of 10 in the sprint, and obviously being Slovenian, knows this range better than 90% of the athletes here. That's a good start from Dojan, and he may match Cloud. 8 seconds to exit in a decent lane, and out he comes. He's only going to be just outside the leading time, so something for the Slovenians, all the volunteers who are in the stadium to enjoy. No fans here, of course. Here comes Johannes Tingisbo. Let's watch him up to 1.9. He's not gone crazy. Phil Maillet at 4:36, pushed down in 2nd place, but 4:35.7 for Johannes Tingisbo. I don't think, Mike, he's all out at the moment.
No, and I think most biathletes on this particular course, we've seen Jacquelin, I thought, was quite pedestrian coming up here. Then he picked up his pace. You really don't want to attack too hard in this 20-kilometer. And then there's the timings.
Yeah, switches to skate 1 at the very top of the climb. It just shows you how strong, how fast they're travelling. Now, Simoneda, 95% overall hit rate so far this season. His prone shooting, 97%. And you've got to remember, we've already got 17 races on the board. Here we go. Sadly, we don't have a close-up camera on every target. Business as usual for Simoneda, and that's going to be a very useful time, Mike. He's a veteran in terms of biathletes, but he's so experienced that he knows that should he hit 20, he's really got a good chance of a medal.
Jakob Falk, that's okay, that's a decent pace so early on, but I'm sure he can lift it. Yes, that was good shooting there, interesting shooting as well from Simoneda, just same routine as always, no change for the big deal day. Here's Johannes Dahle.
In bridge. Kettő. 3-ból 3.
Well, I was going to say his shot's a little low right as well. Then he's shifted a little left now, but all safe. That's a very, very good start for Johannes Dahle.
Yeah, it's a quick time as well. Ada's 10:18 is going to be bettered, so something for the Norwegians to smile about. I know they lead the medal table, but the Norwegian men have not been fulfilling expectations when you consider that they have number 1, 2, 3 and 4 in the World Cup standings. Christian Gau, first in to shoot for the second time. They alternate prone, stand, prone, stand.
És már is rond, gól.
Little flinch for 3. Decides against.
Yeah, that's good discipline. So you could see the trigger finger wanting to snatch it and the brain just cancelling. No, don't pull it yet. Rebuild, rebreathe, try again. That's okay, 1 out of 10. If he can get the next 10, still a fabulous race he can achieve.
23 just exiting. Simon Detieu, who of course took the silver medal in the sprint behind Ponsalomo. Detieu wearing number 23. It's been good championships for him when you consider that he's down in 12th place in the World Cup standing. Certainly climbing with every race he's had so far. Now, the shade growing as the race goes on. Mountain ranges, Mike, are always difficult to compete in. The lanes can behave so differently. The light changes so quickly, particularly when the range is surrounded by trees. And Emilien Jacquelin trying to improve on his prone shoot.
He is going for the fast option. That's incredibly fast.
That's more like it. That, in fact, that wasn't as good as we saw in the pursuit because there was absolutely no hesitation between any of the shots. A little delay between 3 and 4, but Jacquelin clears the 5 and he's back in the money. Christian Gau is going down into 2nd place and the pursuit world champion has still got a chance of claiming the individual as well.
What is happening today? We saw Samuelsson missing 2 out of 5. First time in, so many big names. Ponsiluoma missing 2. Samuelsson. Tarjei Bo missing 3 out of 5. Awful starts to the races.
Yeah, that's 3 of the big names. And I was just going to say, the next question is, will this man clear 5? Mike, this season in individual races, only 50% of the time has he hit all 5 on the first shoot. That doesn't bode well for this race.
It doesn't, and last year he was in most of his races. You could guarantee his first 5 going down. He'll take his time though, Patrick. I think he'll take a long time in these 5 shots. Lucky.
The first and the last are the ones that are going, staying up more often than not. He's been a bit lucky, needs this. That's finally in the middle, but that left shot, I think there may be an instruction just to change the sights to the right, Mike. Predominantly, everything going slightly low left.
Yes, I think so. You can just see there's a slight change, tiny change. The breeze was from the left. That died off, so it does throw your shots over left side of that golf ball size target. I think he was quite lucky with his second shot. It was an edge shot.
Yeah, the two brothers will be skiing this lap together. Johannes Tingis just about to come up behind Telly Botero, incidentally, going clear on his second shoot. Only 4 men still clear after 2 shoots. Jake Brown of USA having another stormer of a race. Cloud of Belgium and Christian Gau of actually that was up to, my mistake, that was up to the 7.1 kilometre stage. No one is clear after 2 as yet. And the best is Jacquelin with that 1 miss in the prone.
Claude Luquet, he looked so firm there, so much in control of himself there. Didn't stress, didn't press too hard. Jakob Fak in.
Yeah, it's looking good. Yes. It goes down, it goes down. It sounded a little heavy. May well have been a split round, but we can only speculate on that. And Cloud comes out for Belgium with a good time. Jakob Fak is slightly off Johannes Tingis Bo's pace, but he's in the medals at the moment after the first shoot. And a 20 out of 20 may be good enough today. It would be fantastic to see him win, Mike. 8 wins in his career, but you know, you're pressed to remember when he last got a victory.
It's quite strange, but we've always seen him come good at the major championships, and he first showed his skill back in 2009 at the World Championships. Big surprise winning bronze then in this race.
Yeah, it's over 5 years since he won.
Jönnek ugye Jake Brown.
Now, Jake Brown looking very good after that first shoot. He's got the fastest time at 7.1 at the moment. And remember, he hit all the standing targets in the sprint. Lucas Hoffer with a miss. It's not a quick shoot, but so far so good for Jake Brown. Can he finish it off? He looks calm enough, clears it, 10 out of 10, and we have a new leader here in Pokjuka, and that will certainly get our viewers over on the other side of the Atlantic excited. He's showing a lot of promise, Mike, and what's so good is that he's consistent.
He is, and remember last year the only athlete to clear 20 targets last year was Leif Nordgren, and you know, if you're a teammate, you're coming through into the team, you've seen someone else in your team manage to achieve that score, that hopefully will give Jake a lot of confidence today. And so far so good, half distance in terms of shooting, and he's 100% hit rate. Well, that was rapid fire. He almost looks quite tense through his rifle. 21.4 seconds. Quite incredible. When Patrick Fabre won his silver medal in the sprint race here, 2001 at the World Championships here, he was shooting an awful lot slower than that. Most biathletes were.
So Phil Maillet matching Jacquelin for shooting so far. As we switch to another of the French team, Fabien Claude. His brother already out there, Florent, but Florent racing for Belgium, couldn't get into the French team.
Fabien, you can see the big silver weight there at the very end of the barrel, so not expecting wind today, but wanting more weight through the rifle. Often it makes it more stable.
That's a pretty loose shoot from Cloud and all the French. Strangely enough, Mike, this is what happened in Pokjuka. They all missed on the first shoot.
Yes, and then seemed to settle. Early season racing, that can happen, can't it? You need to get back into the race feeling, but they're well experienced now in terms of race fresh.
Dobjan looks very comfortable, and he's producing a good shoot at the moment. Oh, just as I say that, the gap between 3 and 4 was minuscule, but I wonder whether he got a little bit too excited with that, Mike. 10 out of 10 would have been such a good position, and he would actually have taken the lead away from Phil Maillet. So it's a good performance so far from Dobjan, into 6th place at the moment. But we've only got some 17 athletes through the second shoot. No one through the third shoot as yet.
interesting. Dovzhan had such a good rhythm there, and then that hit 2.7 hesitation, and then the delayed pull through the trigger. So he was putting more importance on the last shot, as is often the case. You think, got to get my last one, and that thinking process slows you down. You become more careful.
Only 13 men clear so far after the first shoot, and the fastest of those is Johannes Tingesbø. 11 seconds taken out of Jakob Fak. He only won here last year by 12 seconds, Mike, having hit 20 out of 20. So he's gone hard early on.
Első vészet. Egyből egy.
Krishmar, well, I think the Czech Republic, the team must feel good after Davidova yesterday taking that something of a surprise win. She hasn't had a great season, and she put it together so well, hitting all of the targets.
Szemben a másik vészete.
Really good to see the way the rifle's held with him being a left-hander. We can see the strength, the anchored support. I can't believe he's missed. I thought he was going to get his 100% for how so many times in his career he's managed to hit 20 out of 20. Not today.
Now, Dale, 39 seconds quicker than Filmé coming in. Remember the Frenchman with a miss, so that levels things up a bit and actually puts the Frenchman ahead. Cloud at 14, he's going to survive. Jacquelin, 29, maybe pushed down into 4th place, but a disappointing miss from both Ada and Johannes Dale. It looks as though a 20 out of 20 is going to be gold dust today.
Dali, you just felt that there was tension there, you know, really over-trying. I mentioned that earlier. I'd love to see him just relax like we saw with Ponchiloma on day one when he won the sprint competition. Johannes is attacking now. He started within himself, and now he's pumping up the pressure.
That's you.
Well, Johannes Tingesbø went through 7.1 kilometers, 27.3 seconds ahead of Johannes Dale. And that really is a good time from Dale, but a fabulous time from Johannes Tingesbø.
But Dale has missed, Mike. Effectively, what Johannes is doing is buying himself one missed shot.
Yes, no, that was back where they were on level shooting prior to at 7.1, prior to Dali coming in, so it's really fast on the track.
Yeah.
Goal, meg a harmadik lövészre.
Now, Christian Gau needs the same as his first performance in the prone position. Oh.
Egy hiba, még egy hiba.
Oh. Now, it'd be nice to see exactly where those are going.
Well, his big brother Scott Gow, I think he's just started recently at bib 44. Hopefully he can score slightly better on the range.
So now back to Jacquelin, and he will believe that he can win if he hits the next 10 targets. But he went low right in his first prone shoot.
Look at the movement there, the left hand, the right hand, the elbows, the shoulder, but you know what, you have to really bed yourself down well. That lost him 22.6 seconds though. And a further minute.
Yeah, that could be expensive. Sturlaholm Leidrid, a late start. Number 66 for the man who won the first individual of the season. He was second in the second. He starts today as the favourite. And of course, Leidrid is number 2 in the World Cup standings. But I think you've noticed, Mike, that the ski speed isn't quite as good. Now let's focus on Johannes Tingesbø, looking for his first individual world title. Oh, he rushed that. He rushed that last shot, and that is expensive. But he was a minute 8 quicker than anyone else coming in. And with that quick shoot, he's going to remain with the green light. But that does give another big name an opportunity.
Do you know, that was so close. I reckon that was 2.53 millimeters high right. And as he was going through his sequence, I thought we're now seeing him back at his best, but there's still that little element of lost confidence to snatch the final shot.
Only 3 out of the first 28 have gone clear to the halfway mark as we watch Benny Dole. And pretty much middle of the field for Dole today, 39th and 31st in the 2 races so far. He is so much better than that. Should be looking at top 10.
His ski speed though, Patrick, again today it's 3rd fastest into the range. He set the overall 2nd fastest ski time in the pursuit competition, but he needs to hit more targets.
Yeah, worrying times for Germany, and I should think Mark Kirchner a little bit worried about his job, but they've been way off the boil so far. I think Kirchner will be hoping that Arndt Pfeiffer can do something, Mike. Pfeiffer is the man you call on when you want reliability. Now, Jakobsbach clear so far, but only 1 of the 4 shoots completed. Certainly, he has improved his standing shoot this season. Oh,
Egyet rund. Fuck.
It's right eye. I'm just thinking, I wonder, it's such a warm day, some opting no hats, some with the hats, but sweat often. He was really blinking much more than he normally does. I wonder if there was some sweat in that right eye.
Well, it's still a competitive time, Mike, and he'll just have to say, okay, the next 10 targets and I'm still in it. He might get a glimpse of the big screen and see exactly what he's got to do. Florian Cloud, one of only 3 men to be clear so far. Is he going 15 with 15? He is. This is going to be a wonderful performance if he can keep that going. And the French will be wishing he was in their team. Lucas Hoffer, who missed one in the prone.
He's there. Wouldn't it be wonderful if Florent Claude from Belgium, yes, could get on the podium today? He's worked hard, realised that this is his dream to do biathlon, wasn't included in the French team, and he had to change, and I would love that to pay off today. Hoffer's doing well. The Italians have had ill health, a cold, nothing worse than a cold, but it's affected Vera, it's affected Hofer, and a couple of others in the Italian team.
So there are your top 8 after the 3rd shoot. They're actually the only athletes through that stage. A much warmer day than we've had so far. The athletes will be enjoying this. Jake Brown, first miss of the day. That's a real shame. 15 with 15 would have seen him challenging for a top 10. Now, Quentin Fillon-Maillet missed, of course, in the first prone. He's quick.
Still potential for a podium, I think, the way he skis, but he can't afford any more misses from his last 5 to come in 4 kilometers time.
Yeah, and the other news from the French team, Mike, is that Jacques Alain has gone and missed on that 2nd prone. So it's the prone shooting that has cost the French. Pretty much that's where they've been making mistakes this season. Their standing is excellent. Now, Pepe Fetling, very competitive after the first shoot. Lying up in 4th position, just 24 seconds off the lead of Johannes Tingesbø. This could be good. It will be good. And with going 10 with 10, he's going to close the gap on the Norwegian. I really too much. I was just going to say, Mike, he hasn't had his share of the press so far this season, Fetling, with Ponsaloma and Samuelson going so well.
Yes, and therefore not so much pressure or expectations. I really hope last time in we can see that wonderfully relaxed, uncaring sort of stance. Often he tightens up when it comes to the final shoot in a 20-kilometer. And Jesper Nellen, Patrick, he's missed 7. And that's only in 3 shoots, so a poor outing for Nellen.
Yeah, way down. 6:38 behind Fillon-Maillet, who leads after 3 shoots.
Jön a második lövészet.
Started reasonably early, just behind Alexander Loginov. Loginov not having a happy day for the RBU. He's missed 3.
Na nézzük, hogy további is hibátlan lesz-e.
He's down in
Kb. A
9th
kis
position.
képen van. Biathlon is a harmadik lövészetét tolja. És hibátlan Tischenko is dobzán is.
And it's a shame he hasn't got another 30 seconds per lap on the skis. Otherwise Tischenko could be challenging and looking for Ukraine's second. I was going to say second. They haven't got a medal yet at these championships. I was thinking of Belarus with Hanna Sola, who has got herself a bronze medal.
Yes, Tischenko there, so often on the big day he gets those 20. I mentioned it earlier at the Olympic Games, he did just that. The ski speed doesn't take him to the podium though. He was 18th at the Olympics.
Krcsman másik lövészetét tolja.
Krcsman. Yes, and I was just going to say, Moravec still to come, and Moravec loves these races as well. Very calm when it comes to the 20 shots.
Krcsman, top 5, going through 7.1. That's going to drop him down the order a fair amount, but still competitive. We're waiting for Johannes Tingesbø to come in. We're waiting for, this is Johannes Dali, about to shoot, but he missed one in the in the stand, sorry. Johannes Tingesbø with 1 miss so far. Simonader back in the prone. He missed 1 in the stand, which was very uncharacteristic. 4-4 this time round.
Hibátlan, úgyhogy 0+1+0.
Well,
both individuals this year, Mike, one with a 0 shoot.
It certainly helps. We often feel the big names often feel the pressure, the expectations, and the expense of the squeeze through the trigger. 1 minute added onto your time. When you've got great ski speed, I think those athletes feel the pressure more than those who don't have the fastest ski times.
Yeah, Johannes Dali, 4th in the sprint, and he missed 1 on the last stand. Otherwise, he was right up there with the best. Behind Jacquelin, he missed out on his chance with that 1 miss. Now, Finello, 2 misses already. Really, it's about getting as many points as he can, trying to produce a result that will qualify him for the mass start on Sunday. For France, just settling for his 3rd shoot.
Jacquelin.
The two has already missed 3, so he's that's 4, so he's out of contention. Finello with another miss, so 3 minutes in total added to his time. In terms of percentages, Mike, 3 minutes, they're doing way over 1 kilometre in 3 minutes, so that's over 5% with that shooting performance added to your time.
Painful, absolutely painful.
Big group of athletes led by Detour. Number 2 is Finello, 43. Just behind them, of course, is Benny Vega of Switzerland. All the suits look pretty similar. Now, Lygren for his first shoot, starting late at 66. And a man certainly expected to keep the race alive. His shooting this year has been second best to Simonader in terms of percentages. He's only missed 1 shot in the individual races so far this season. That's good.
That's fabulous. I thought his ski speed might be a little off the boil today, but he's absolutely on point. He's only 3.6 seconds behind Johannes Tingesbø into the range, and got out in 1st place.
Yeah, that is sensational performance. And one of the big advantages of going late, Mike, is he knows exactly what he's got to do. Jacquelin in the stand position, which he seems to prefer to the prone. 2 mistakes in the prone. He's certainly medal potential. A lot depends on what this man does. Johannes Tingesbø, 52 World Cup wins to his name. In terms of world titles, he's right up there with the best.
Johannes is lucky, I think, Patrick. The sun is still on this end of the range. It's going to depart soon at what local time, 3:10. So he's managed to get the sun on the prone shooting. You can just see there's only 5 lanes left out with the shade.
14 out of 15. Is he heading for world title number 12? It's certainly a possibility. He's drawn level with Frank Luck and Alexander Tikhonov at the moment. But then you've got to remember that Bjorn Dahlen has 20. Martin Fourcade picked up 13 in his time. And Emil Hegler Svensson picked up 12. So he is climbing the order of the all-time best, but he's not quite there yet. Now, Tarje, all went wrong early on. 5 misses.
I was really hoping that he could find the magic again today, 10 years after his previous win in this event, but 6 penalties today. I'm really surprised. He's a top-class biathlete, of course he is, and to miss 6 is something of a poor performance, so clearly not comfortable today.
Yeah, just wondering whether that's going to cost him a place in the men's relay. He'll be in the mass start with whatever happens. I'm absolutely certain he's not going to be in the single mix relay. As we watch the sprint world champion in action, another man who struggled early. Some you win, some you don't. And today, it's the latter for Ponsalona. That's a shame. Now, Jakob Fak is still in this one. 57 seconds outside Johannes Tingesbø. But remember, Bø has missed. Fak seems to have lost rather a lot of time on that last loop, but made up for it with a good clear shoot. 5 more targets to clear for Jakob Fak, and Slovenia starting to believe that something might happen here today.
It's great news. He needed those 5, but will the pressure build up in his mind over the next 4 kilometres? And it's a tough 4 kilometres before the final, last 4 kilometres after his final stand.
I think all the big names through the first shoot, Mike. Lygrid, Johannes Tingesbø, Jakob Fak, Pfeiffer are the top 4 positions. So Pfeiffer started well. He has bib number 61. He started just 2.5 minutes in front of Sturla Holm Lygrid of Norway. So those two certainly are going to make the end of this race exciting. Lauren Cloud gets the last one. He gets the last one, but with his level of skiing, you just cannot afford a miss. So that's 19 hits out of 20. There won't be so many athletes who better that.
And the strange thing is, in terms of wind influence, it's not there today. It's one of the easiest entries into any international range we have, and surprisingly, some poor shooting today.
Now, Phil Maillet absolutely flying on the tracks. I can't believe a gold is going to come his way with 18 hits out of 20, but a medal certainly. And if he keeps the pace going that he's set so far, he is going to be a good minute 15 inside Jacquelin, his teammate, who has shot the same score. So that's wonderful skiing from Quentin Phil Maillet. And he deserves a medal, Mike. He's been so close in the races so far, 6th and 4th.
Yes, Fillon Maillet, that was a great performance last time in, and there was a lovely little smile, the relief to get through those last 5 shots. And I think you're right, he's still a real contender, the way he's skiing, for a medal, maybe not the gold, but a chance for bronze or silver.
Yeah, Jacquelin not skiing quite as quick today, but he's still shooting incredibly fast. 2 standing shoots in under 40 seconds. He was 19 on the first one, 18.9 on the second standing shoot. Loganov went through in 22.3. No one clear so far.
It's so hard to believe, twice in 40 seconds. You know, if a newcomer feels the rifle, they'll think it's impossible to shoot that fast, especially when you're exhausted after the test out on the track here.
Yeah, and hit 10 out of 10. That's worth mentioning as we watch Fabien Claude now for France. 105 outside the leading time so far, but the gaps are pretty substantial. Top 10 would be a good result.
We see, I think, mostly in the French team, a lot of movement prior to the first shot, just making sure that the alignment and the relaxation through the body is perfect. It's not paid off for Fabian at the moment, missing 2 out of 5.
Yeah, that was a quick shoot. I wonder whether the French have just said, okay, just shoot as you normally shoot rather than change your game for the individual. Pepi Femling just leading for Sweden. He started well. Try and pick up on his shooting score so far. He's still going well, Mike. 15 out of 15 for Femling, and he's gone through in 6th position after 3.
Oh, that's great news. He was 17th last year. He missed 2 then, so he'll do a whole lot better. And you know what? The way he skis, if he gets the last 5, I think he really could be a contender. Certainly medal option.
Johannes Tingesbø is through the 3rd shoot and leads by 26 seconds over Dale. We're still waiting for Lygrid to take his 2nd shoot. That should be fairly shortly. Lygrid, remember, leading after 1. Dobjan starting to feel the nerves. He looks so cool on his last standing shoot, but you can just see the tension in the face. 4 out of 5, not bad. 18 out of 20 for the day.
Well, there's one miss I was just about to say. Normally, on the big day, he can get 20, but one minute mistake, he'll be so disappointed.
19 out of 20, the best score so far. Simon Ada is in a position to match that, and if he does so, he is going to get another top 10 result.
Have a look at the trigger finger. The skin is exposed there. There's a slit in the glove. You can barely see the added pressure. It snaps so easily, these triggers, just over 500 grams.
That's a lovely, delicate touch with the finger trigger, and 19 out of 20 keeps those percentages at 95% for the day. And Johannes Dahlmeier has cleared 5, having started number 21. He is on an absolute flyer. Is he going to be the first Norwegian male to claim a title? Let's have a look at the time. Ada is out, and Dahle absolutely flying. 24 ahead of Fion Maillet. Fion Maillet, though, you've got to remember, has missed 2 targets, and Dahle just missing 1. So the Frenchman is quicker on the tracks, but we'll wait and see what Dahle has saved for the last lap. Finello started number 2, coming in across the line, sets the mark of 53.02. Winning time here last year, 47.54.
Well, I'm so impressed with Dahle. I was saying earlier, he wants this so much. Often the tension and the fear or the over-trying through the rifle, he was composed there under the greatest pressure. And that's a real chance now for a gold.
Not been going his way so far. Probably best just to relax. Give himself a little bit of a boost with 5 hits on the last shoot.
That's the way to do it.
Haven't seen too much of Arndt Pfeiffer. Lygrid likewise. Just checking that, Pfeiffer has been through the 2nd shoot and he's clear. Actually has the leading time, Mike. Isn't he a master of getting it right at the major championships? So many times he's competitive.
He is. Well, here's Lygrid. Fast shooting.
25 seconds inside Pfeiffer. He downs it. Didn't look good. It didn't give me a whole lot of confidence, Mike. I sort of sense a little bit of tension in the position. But my goodness, he's been an absolute revelation this year. And great for Norway to know that when the Boers finally retire, they've still got more talent coming up. Jacques Alain across the line. 48 seconds the lead, but he will not stay there for long because Fion Maillet is closing in on the finish line with a much, much better time.
Well, Lygrid, you just feel everything about Lygrid today. Wants this gold medal more than anyone. He's just totally in control on the range and not breaking his rhythm at all.
Yeah, and going through 2 shoots, Mike, they're 53 seconds up on this man, Johannes Tingesbø, who has had a 1-minute penalty added. So he's only gained 7 seconds on both Lygrid and Pfeiffer. That's it. No gold medal for Johannes Tingis today. No crystal globe for the individual. He needed to win to have a chance of that. A 24.9 second shoot, and so often it's that first shot that costs him.
Well, the rebuild of the rifle, he said it could be a spectacular disappointment. It's still okay, 18 out of 20 hits. It's not bad shooting. Can he pull back 31.8 in 4Ks? On his best form, he'd have a go, but not today. Don't think so.
Talia Boo into the finish. No family celebrations. So many times over the years we've seen both brothers on the podium. They're both going to be some way off today.
Jag tänker inte på sidorna.
Benny Dahl, he shoots the foresight on his rifle. It's very small aperture centrally, about 3 millimeters, and a lot of black, a very wide ring around that small gap, but that's the way he likes it. For many, they have a much narrower foresight. Often it does work for Benny Dahl, though.
4 minutes added to Pontaloma's time and pushes him down into third for now, but an early start for the sprint world champion. No success so far today for Sweden. Just looking at Samuelsson's time, he's gone through the 4 shoots, missed 3, so Samuelsson likely to be outside the top 10 come the end of the day. Now, this is the moment that the Slovenian fans have been waiting for. The time is not a leading time, but if he clears 5, he might just challenge Johannes Tingis. No medals for the home selection today. Lucas Hoffer misses one as well, trying to do something special for the Italians. Andreas Zingale won this race back in 1993. Hoffer is not going to add his name to that list of honour. Here comes Canton Phil Maillet, just overtaking Florent Cloud, who's had a good day, but Phil Maillet has been flying, Mike, and it's another incredibly rapid last lap. I think there might be medals at stake here. I don't think he's going to get gold, but 1:34 ahead of Jacquelin, having shot the same score. He is on very, very good form. What is that worth?
Well, interestingly, Daly has taken 10 seconds out of Phil Maillet, even though he's skiing so fast, Phil Maillet, in the first time split after the range. So Daly is absolutely flying, and Johannes Tingis no chance today of closing the gap.
Martin Jaeger for Switzerland. Finello has finished. He's in third at the moment. 2:22 off the leading time. 50:40 is the leading time at the moment. It's going to come down. I don't think there's any doubt about that. Are they going to beat the 50-minute mark for this 20k individual race here in Pokjuka? I think it's highly likely the way that Dale is going. And Dale, Mike, after 3 shoots, well, that doesn't really count. After 2 shoots, he was some way down on Lygrid and Pfeiffer.
Yes, interesting. Now, I'm wondering today, with Lygrid going so well, Johannes Tingis, he'll be chasing second place, chasing down Fionn Maillet. We could well get a Norwegian 1, 2, 3 today.
Well, we might, but Pfeiffer and Ries of Germany are going to have something to say about that, because Arne Pfeiffer has been going so well. He's in second place after 2. Lygrid has the lead. Neither of those 2 athletes have missed, but so has Roman Ries has cleared 10 out of 10 as well, and he started 64. So those starting in the 60s, Mike, not only are they skiing fast enough to make us think that the conditions are getting a bit quicker, but they're also shooting brilliantly.
Yes, and Artem Prima, he's been on good form lately. We saw that at the European Championships, gold medal in the pursuit competition. He missed 3 that day, but he said his form is coming good through the rifle.
So far, 4 athletes clear after 3. No one has managed to clear all 20 so far, and Lygrid will know that. Pfeiffer will know that. This, you know, Pfeiffer's trademark is to hit 20 in the individual. He's done it so many times, Mike, when it really matters.
He is a master of the big day, isn't he? Pfeiffer. Komats, I thought today would hit 19 or even 20. He's that good normally, but he's missed 2 out of 5 third time in. That was fast, missing 1 again, so 22.7 seconds, really fast shooting, almost just getting into the carefree mode, but picking up a minute extra within that 22-second phase.
So at the moment, it looks like a Dale, Pfeiffer, Ligrid battle for top honours. Who would you put your money on in that duel, Mike, when you consider that Johannes Dale has gone through the last shoot with only 1 miss?
Yes, I think the way that Ligrid for me is just so focused, a little like Jacques Lam was in the pursuit competition. I feel that Ligrid today really wants this one and can manage himself through the rifle.
Yeah, we're looking for bib numbers 61, 64 and 66. And Artem Prima, must be said, of Ukraine, isn't far off the mark. Johannes Dale, 32 seconds inside. Now, is that going to be good enough for a win? 50.08, just misses out on the 50-minute barrier. But Dale has really laid down everything on that last loop. 32 seconds clear of Phil Maillet, having come out of the range 24 behind. That is some effort. Should be good enough for a medal. The question is, what colour is it going to be for Dale? There are actually 3 or 4 men who can deny him, but I just feel he gave so much on that last loop. Now, Pfeiffer, 10 out of 10 so far. Just watch the eyes, watch the concentration, and the lack of movement at the end of the rifle. World champion in the individual from Östersund 2 years ago, and he keeps himself in the running for the gold medal here. Johannes Tingesbo at 30.46. He's going to be bettered by some margin. Pfeiffer goes to the top of the table. Germany, who didn't have anyone in the top 20 in the sprint, suddenly are in a position to win a gold medal here in Pokjuka. And actually the sport needs that, Mike, because so many of the fans, the high percentage of fans, come from Germany.
They do, and when you often get them around the track, it can lift you, but it appears Pfeiffer doesn't need any lifting today. Johannes has moved ahead of Phil Maillet on the track, but working hard to stay there.
Detieu with 4 misses. The French hoping that Phil Maillet can survive. All the French choosing to go early today. I can't see anyone who from France who can really challenge the leaders now. Germany certainly, as we know, have Pfeiffer. Norway have Dale, who is already in the clubhouse with a very good time, just over that 50-minute mark. But if this man goes clear on shoot number 3, then he is going to join Pfeiffer at the top of the leaderboard.
Just thinking that the few bits of track that still have sunshine on, it's still very wet in the sunshine, but I think that there's at 3:30 local time in the shade, I think it's beginning to ice over slightly, and potentially an advantage without a doubt in terms of ski glide.
10 years younger than Arndt Pfeiffer, 10 years less experience of World Cup racing, and so much less experienced in terms of majors. The up-down movement at the end of the barrel with the breathing. Ligrid settles quickly, lets the rounds go. He is going to the top 2. Johannes Tingesbo across the line, 32.6 outside with 2 misses today. Seems to be a theme for the championships. Ligrid with a 36.6 second lead. Now, Mike, that sounds fantastic, but it's less than a shot. He's got to build that to a minute over Pfeiffer to have any sort of comfort when he comes in for his last shoot.
I think so. The way that Pfeiffer is attacking out there. What happened to changing subject? What happened to Yannis Tingesbo? He was ahead of Fayemaye with 900 meters to go, and he's let it slip to third place. Really surprised. I wonder if he had all the information he needed. 0.6 of a second bronze medal to silver.
Yeah, a four-second swing over the last 900 meters. Don't forget, Mike, he doesn't have a sprint finish. We're seeing that time and time again. And so many of the greats, when it comes to endurance and the time trial events, just don't have a sprint. Bjorn Dalen didn't have one. It was his undoing many times. And, of course, Bjorn Dalen, he never had a sprint to keep himself alive when it was a close finish.
Yeah, that's interesting, and Fayemaye has a sparky finish, but I am surprised with getting split times out in the track, Johannes, and he looked disappointed. He looked very surprised when he had a little glance at the scoreboard. Mark Kirchner must be getting excited and nervous at the same moment, certainly for Pfeiffer.
One more shoot for Pfeiffer, and Roman Rees, Mike, started 64 and missed his third shoot. He's actually missed one now. He's gone down into 14th. He would have been up in second place ahead of Pfeiffer had he cleared all 15. 5 out of 5 will give Benny Dole a respectable result. Not the one he wants, but respectable. Good shooting, good comeback, hitting the last 10, and he'll be top 10. Good World Cup points. Don't forget the World Championship races also counting for the World Cup. And incidentally, this year, at the end of the season, the worst 4 races get taken away as we see Lukas Hofer exit the range for the last time. And Mike, you know, by taking 4 races away instead of 2, it really is a big disadvantage to Johannes Tingesbo.
It is. Johannes has been so consistent throughout the whole season. What worst result is it? 10th or 12th position, and it almost feels a little unfair, but that decision was made back in November. It's not a Jakub Fak day. A Slovenian medal not going to happen today. That's a real shame for Jakub Fak.
Leif Nordgren for USA. The Americans shooting pretty well today, it has to be said. So 18 out of 20. 1001 has a nice symmetry to it, but it'd much rather they were all clear. Now Pfeiffer coming through 12.3 ahead of Johannes Tingesbo, going through the 13.9 kilometer stage, and what was he, some 22 seconds ahead of Johannes Tingesbo. So Pfeiffer is running out of gas, I think, Mike.
I thought he might do as the race progresses. He attacked so firm from the word go. He's still got a long way to go, and when you start losing pace, it then becomes a very difficult fight on the track. It is, I think, the toughest 20-kilometer track-wise in the whole calendar.
Közben átülnék, várja. Felix Leitnert.
Felix Leitner coming in for Austria. The Austrians with 2 silver medals. One in the single mixed relay. Not the single mixed relay, the mixed relay. And of course, Hauser getting a silver in the individual as well. Hauser, very, very good performance in the pursuit. Now, Hauser missing 2 actually yesterday on the last shoot, Mike. Otherwise, she was in the gold medal position. There were only 3 women on the result sheet of the women's individual who would have won had they shot the perfect 0, which is unusual. But a huge number would have been in the medals had they gone clear.
Yes, the last shot often from the first 45 athletes on the result sheet, you often get up to 27 of those 45 last time in, missing 1 or more targets out of 5. Seppala, he's really improving all round. Seppala, his endurance, his shooting is improving.
So another 3-second gain by Leigrid on the climb out of the stadium over Pfeiffer. Still, should Pfeiffer go clear and Leigrid miss one, the advantage switches to Germany. That is the severity of the penalty given for a missed shot in this individual. And over the years, Mike, when you first started, what was a good time for an individual? Somewhere close to the hour?
It really was 57 minutes, then it would drop to 54, and then eventually 53. Yeah, it was quite different in those days in terms of track structures. They're on the same loop all the time now. We used to go out into the forest on different tracks.
Artem Prima, you've just seen, becoming only the 8th man to clear the first 15 targets, and it's put him up in the 4th position. So Prima may well have a crack at a medal if he can clear all 5 on the last shoot. Arndt Pfeiffer only 3.3 clear now. That's an extraordinary loss of time. He's lost over 20 seconds to Johannes Tingesbø on this penultimate loop. Is he saving something for the shoot and saving something for the last lap, or are his fuel gauges on 0?
Well, you know, we've seen him in the past. When it really matters, he can dig in. So maybe he's just going through a wobble, a bad patch in his race. He'll be trying to focus on the shooting coming up and then attack the final 4 kilometers.
Yeah, but he'd much rather give away 30 seconds on the track and hit all the targets than to hold his own and miss a target and throw away a minute.
I think so. You have to be disciplined in this race not to take yourself over your comfort place. Pep Femling, the first to shoot all 20. And, we mentioned often he misses 1, 2 or 3 last time in, but the absolute total concentration today, that's a good performance.
Yeah, excellent. But, 2:36 slower than Dale, who has missed 1, so effectively 3.5 minutes slower. Dale would have been finished while Femling was at the 18.5 kilometer stage. That is the difference. Hasila, can he become the second man to hit 15? 1 minute behind. It's not a bad run, to be honest. If 5 goes well.
So tough if it's a new experience. You know, you hit your first 15, it's a World Championships. This is a new experience, and you can just feel the tension. Oh, so sad to see that happen.
So, Pfeiffer, his chance. If he clears 5, he puts an immense amount of pressure onto Ligrid, who is yet to shoot.
Na nézzük, hogy vajon megtenni a egyénit is össze bajnok a ráfélenémetekre egyéten bármilyen. És hibátlan Péter.
And the German fans will be on their feet saluting Arndt Pfeiffer. What a servant he's been to the German team over the years, Mike.
It really has.
Fantastic. 32 seconds inside. And suddenly, Dale's position is under threat. Now we're going to find out what he saved for the last loop, Mike, because Dale was quick.
Dale was very, very quick. I think Arndt Pfeiffer with that kind of advantage as he heads out with 32 advantage, that's a huge margin. He did look very tired previous time. I think he was playing safe to not be overboiled, lactic flooding as he comes into the final shoot. And now I think we'll see him open up the pace again.
So the man who won this title 2 years ago, Arndt Pfeiffer, is on top of the table. And from the 3rd shoot, he was bettered by Ligrid. Artem Prima, who started 75. I don't think Prima could do anything about it, Mike. He was just around 50 seconds behind Pfeiffer at the start of that penultimate loop. And so I think really the only man who can challenge Ligrid is can challenge Pfeiffer is Ligrid, who will be in to shoot in the next minute and a half. And of course Johannes Dale, who is already in the finish area with a posted time of 50.08. Well, here is Ligrid. 15 out of 15 so far. Another 5. And he'll take the world title.
Na, a képpel látható legrejt, hogyha nem hibázik, akkor meg lesz élete első világbajnoki címe, és meg is van.
He's just shown what he's made of, Mike. You know, there was no expectation on his shoulders at the start of the season, but so many expecting something fantastic from him here at the World Championships. He's going to claim the Crystal Globe for the individual races this season. And remember, when he joined the tour at the back end of last season, he hardly missed the target. He's gone clear today. He's got a 39-second lead. Unless he falls, he is going to beat Arne Pijper across the line.
It certainly is. Isn't that incredible? You saw Mazet, the shooting coach, the Frenchman for the Norwegian team, celebrating there. And just, it's not a long time ago when Leigrid won his first race, and on that day, Mazet had said, oh, don't worry about your zero. It was a little off. He said, you're not expected to win anyway, and the first race of the season. And I think Leigrid showed us that day what he has, hitting all the targets that day and winning ahead of Johannes Tingesbø. And at the World Championships, to hit all 20, never easy, especially when the pressure is heaped on you, as Leigrid has been so good in this race and managed to hold his nerve throughout.
Yeah, so of the 60 shots in individuals this year, he's hit 58 of them, missed 2 in Antolz. I thought it was 1. He actually missed 2 in Antolz, but he's 3 individual races. On 2 occasions he's gone clear. There are plenty of men, Mike, who go through their whole career and never shoot clear in an individual. He's done 2 in a season.
Oh, it's so true. Some athletes don't manage to achieve that. It's not an easy thing to do. They're very small targets.
And he looks as though he's going to be joining the Zero Club.
Yeah, very much an elite club that is, to take the title with the perfect shooting score. Just looking at split times though, lap times, as Langer, missing what, total of 5. Not a bad result for the Belgium athlete, but Leigrid's ski speed last lap was at 18 seconds off Fionn Maillet's fastest lap time.
Yeah, Leigrid, if he's had one weakness this season, Mike, it has been the last lap. He's quite happy to admit that. I thought he's looked better over the last couple of weeks, but it's going to be interesting to see what he can give. An advantage of 39 seconds. He'll be glad that that advantage is over Pijper and not over Johannes Daly. Or, of course, Johannes Tingesbø.
Very much, but 39.5, it's a safe margin. Here's Morovitz. So often he can show the rest of the world how to put 20 down. Not today. He's missed 1 out of 15. Uniquely, he always takes that little bend down as he puts the magazine in, stretches the legs out. So 19 out of 20, and again showing us control, the mind control to get the last 5, Morovitz.
So 28 seconds when he came out of the range. It was at, I beg your pardon, it was, what was it, 33. So 5 seconds lost by Pijper. I think he'll be able to hold on, provided he goes over the top of this climb with a 20-second lead, Mike.
I think, yes, I think he's safe. The coach trying maybe to tell him he has a chance of winning, but it's such an advantage to Leigrid. Deficit of 39.5, it's so unlikely.
Yeah, and actually he went over the top of the hill with good speed. I think the support from the coach is really helping Pijper there. Daly still leads, Fionn Maillet 2, Johannes Tingesbø 3. Both Fionn Maillet and Bø in danger of being knocked off the podium. Well, here's the man who is likely to take top honours today. Leigrid, impeccable on the range. So much pressure, particularly with Arne Pijper posting a 0 score. Mazet, it's not been the best of championships for him, but suddenly he has a gold medal, a likely gold medal to celebrate. I think he knows that Leigrid is quick enough to hold off Arne Pijper on this last loop. 73, of course, is Felix Leitner. 49.15. This could be a top 10 if he goes clear. That left hand looks very close to him, Mike.
It is, and he's buying a lot. The heavy part of the rifle is the barrel, so a lot of weight counterbalanced out there. You could see the look there. He's missed his last shot. That's uneasy.
Still waiting for Artem Prima, who is, by my reckoning, the only man who's got a chance of taking the bronze medal away from Dale. Lygrid now at 29. When he came out of the chute, he was at 39, so he's lost 10 seconds to Pfeiffer, who really has turned it up and showing his experience of going a little bit steady on the penultimate lap.
I think that was very clever. The coach informing him that at the moment Pfeiffer has the advantage. To take 10 seconds from the range to the high point, that's a significant amount of time, but still likely to hang on in there for the victory.
But that's at 17.9. Remember, it's a 20-kilometre race, so there is a way to go. And if Pfeiffer's got a good set of skis. Now, this is a big moment for Artem Prima. A clear chute and a quick chute, and he might challenge Dale, but there goes his chance of a medal. Still going to be the best of the Ukrainian performances today. 19 out of 20. We've got precious few in the finish area who've hit 19 out of 20. Femling's the only one who's gone clear, who's in the finish at the moment. We know that Pfeiffer and Lygrid have done it. %. I guess that's pretty average, Mike, but with the conditions we've got today, I was sort of expecting to see 5 or 6 with a perfect score.
Well, Khalili, we mentioned him at the start. He is brilliant when it comes to shooting, less effective when it comes to skiing. They were hoping he would manage to pick his form up at the European Champs. He was put there for that reason, and it seems to have worked. He's only 108 behind there with 15 out of 15 hits, third time in.
Well, looking forward to seeing who Norway select for the single mixed relay, Mike. Who would you go for? Lygrid. Oh. Lygrid's going to be tired after this. I think that probably rules him out, to be honest.
I mean, it's a tough one. The obvious choice is Johannes Tingesbø, but Lygrid is just beyond belief strong through the rifle.
Here comes Pfeiffer. He's only got a couple of 100 metres to go now for Arndt Pfeiffer. 34 seconds to play with. Dale, I think, knows he's going down into second place. Gets a little boost as he drops down the descent into the finish straight. And Arndt Pfeiffer posts the quickest time so far. The champion from 2019 goes top for now, but we still have Lygrid out on the tracks. And the last time we saw, Lygrid had a lead of 29 seconds. He should be able to hold on to that. But Pfeiffer certainly travelling the quicker of the two on the last loop. But when there's a World Championship gold at stake, Mike, I think you dig a little bit deeper than normal. It's down to 22 now, another 7 seconds going. But he's only got 900 metres to survive, and 450 metres of that is downhill.
He has to be careful. The coach keeping a wide berth. The last thing you want is being tripped up by a coach. It has happened in the final stages, but it certainly looks, with only 900 metres to go, that it is Lygrid Dave. Arndt Pfeiffer probably knows that, but hey, silver is great.
Yeah, absolutely fantastic for Pfeiffer. 33 years old, still showing the youngsters how to do it. We've seen Bjorndalen take a fall on the final lap of a race to lose a title here in Pokjuka. Raphael Poiret came through to claim that one.
Garanashevy got a hard time in the press for being selected for these championships. It was only for this race, though.
That's not bad. 18 out of 20. The best performance from the RBU. I'm having to go down and down and down and down. It's not a good day. We'll pick it up at some stage. I will focus on Lygrid's finish first, and then we'll see how poorly the RBU have done today. Sturlaholm Lygrid, here he comes, 23-year-old, who didn't shock us with a win at the start of the season, Mike, but I think he did shock some of his teammates by winning that race in Kontiolahti, the individual.
Yeah, it was a huge statement. Just showed that he had landed, and he's still functioning at the very top, mid-February.
Well, he had 39 seconds to play with when he exited the range, and it's dropped down below 20. Ligrid, though, has survived. He's going sub 50 seconds. He's going sub 49.44, which is the important factor, and he takes top spot. No one will better that time. We have our world champion, and the Norwegian men at last have an individual gold medalist here. They extend their lead at the top of the medal table. They go to 4 golds and 2 bronzes. Their 6th medal of these championships, and they may well get a 7th with Dale, but I don't think Dale can start his celebrations quite yet. Roman Rees.
It's good from Rees, very good. Only 1 missed, but 8th position. I'm just thinking, Ligrid, he's had a first, he's had a second, and now again a first from the 320 kilometers. He is only 23-year-old, but he is the grandmaster of shooting. It takes a lot of strength, a lot of mind strength to hit so many targets in this race.
Yeah, I think his psychologist is going to be hot property, and if he's his own psychologist, I think there's a job for him once he's finished skiing. That was absolutely brilliant display of nerve control for that last shoot. Now, Johannes Kern was quick early on, but those 2 misses on the first stand have put pay to any chances of a top 10.
Have a look at the missed shots around the target. You absolutely see a less crisp sighting through the target at 50 meters away, and that's lanes 16, 17, 17 closed down, so 15 and 16 are being used by most athletes, and it really doesn't help your sight picture when you're shooting on a completely shot out target.
Yeah, and you also see, Mike, the majority of the misses going high right. Explain what that involves.
It's timing, and it's delayed timing effectively. So the body's tired, your mind's tired, and most biathletes just being a little bit less reactive, I think, in terms of the last 5 shooting.
Good finish from Tersan, having missed the first one on that last shoot. But it pushes him to over 4.5 minutes behind. He's going to get some World Cup points, but 3.5 minutes behind would have seen him in the top 15, which would have been a fabulous result for him. It's not going to happen today. 4 Ks to go. They're going to be painful kilometres. The race has been won, and an absolutely brilliant display from Sturlaholm Ligrid of Norway, 49.27. The margin in the end, Mike, only 16 seconds. So Piper had an absolute stormer on that last loop.
Yes, just looking at lap times, Ligrid had been in top 5 most of the race. 6th fastest, actually 4th lap, but he was way down, 22nd fastest. He burnt a lot of his bridges on that journey, but it was enough to survive. Al Piper lifted up again to 4th fastest time, having dropped below 10th fastest on one of his laps.
Yeah, and not for the first time here in Pokjuka, the importance of hitting 20 out of 20 in the individual, emphasised by the fact that gold and silver both have the perfect score.
És Norvégiának így lesz így két érmese, és a németeknek lesz végre már egy érmük is, végre most már, nekik már lesz végre. Közben lejtem jön a 12. helyre.
Welcome back to Pokjuka. The main business of the day is done. Here are the intermediate results, unconfirmed. There are a few people out on the tracks, but the top three will not change now. Lygrid, Paifadale are taking the gold, the silver and the bronze. So a much, much better day for the Norwegian men. Canton Fion-Maillet, Mike, he was quick, but two misses costing him his chance. He would have been silver had he hit one more target. And Johannes Tingesbø, likewise, 1:13, almost exactly the same ski time as Canton Fion-Maillet.
Yes, and two targets missed, both of those names. Johannes Tingesbø missing two. It is too many. He would have survived a medal if it had only been one. That would have been second place, and of course a win had he managed to get all 20.
Now, no repeat of the Finnish performance back in 2001 when the World Championships were last here, and they took a win with Purinen.
Yep, great day for Purinen. He was one of the leaders in terms of fast shooting in those days, and often hitting 20 out of 20. Prima so disappointed he will be missing one out of the last 5, having hit the first 15. And he would have been, what, 6th position, taking that 1 minute away. Kalili.
Nagyon Kalili az utolsó.
Still only 3 men with the perfect shooting score. Kalili could join them. 134 behind. It's not a bad run. It will certainly be the best of the Russian performances if he clears 5. I sort of get the feeling he's done his sniper training.
Well, that was control, wasn't it? As such a late starter, he knows exactly what's ahead of him. Doesn't quite have the ski speed, and I think he'll lose another, what, 20 seconds, 25 over this last lap.
Yeah, but top 7 is still possible. Benny Doll in 7th place, 2:06 behind. So Kalili, if he can limit the damage on the last loop to 20 seconds, will get himself his best of the season.
Közben jön a tej valója a szégyenbe.
Yeah, he would have been 4th had all the targets gone down, and that for Simoneda is a fantastic result. He's still sitting in 6th, but he would have been 59 seconds behind, which would have put him just ahead of Canton Fion-Maillet. He's still competitive even at his age.
37-year-old, and interesting there. Yes, he used to be the fastest shot for many years at what, 21, 23 seconds, and he hasn't backed off that much, maybe by 4 or 5 seconds. But it really makes a difference. You can manage your breathing a lot more. You're not putting yourself in extreme risk with shooting in 21, 20 seconds, and he is the best, the most accurate person this season, Simoneda.
Now, as we watch Goranichev come in, Mike, with that characteristic free skate of his, not a bad sprint to the line. That's a very, very fine run from him, 15th place. Lygrid becomes the 6th Norwegian to win this title. Can you rattle them off?
Gisle Finn, Erik Kvalfoss, Svensson. I don't have the list in front of me. You go then a long way back to the 70s to pick up names that I'm not familiar with. And
did Bjorn Dahlen never win it?
Once. Is that
That's
right?
good enough. That's good enough. Yeah. I don't have the list in front of me, but I just was struggling to name them myself. We'll work on that and certainly come back to you with it during the single mixed relay. Svensson is certainly there.
Mondom, mindenképpen a holnapi vegyes párosod nagyon izgalmas lesz. Mondjuk ez se volt rossz.
Bakarnikov with 3 minutes added to the time. A 3:35 would have been a top 20 result. And Belarus have Smolsky and Lebastu down in 25 and 26 at the moment.
I've got those Norwegian names. Of course, Tarjei Bø, we mentioned him 10 times in the race. He won 10 years ago. And Svensson, of course, Björn Dahlen, of course, Halvard Hannevold, then Erik Kvalfoss, Odd Learhouse, but that's way back in 1978, and Jon Ishtat and Olav Jordet. That was way back in 65.
Well, that sounds like more than 6 to me. But yeah, they've got a good history. And Hannevold, of course, an Olympic title in the individual and a world title.
He certainly did. Zemlika can have his personal best here if he gets this one. And he's got it.
So 5 now clear. And this could be worth the top 25. Certainly going top 30. And that will be something to celebrate, and maybe inspired by Davidova's performance yesterday, Mike. The Czechs delighted to get themselves a gold medal in the women's individual.
Oh, and it was something of a surprise, because Davidova really hadn't been at the races in terms of her shooting, and then all of a sudden she hits them all and takes the gold. Certainly inspirational.
Here comes Tresan into the finish. We're just trying to line up Johannes Tingesbo, who remains the overall World Cup leader, although he loses quite a few points to Ligrid, the winner here today. Here is the great Johannes. It's not been his day, down in 5th place with 2 misses. Let's see what he has to say. And I tell you what, Mike, with the new rules of 4 results being taken away at the end of the season, Martin Fourcade there congratulating Ligrid, you know, one master to another. And I think they would have an interesting conversation over a bottle of wine on how to compete, how to beat the best when it comes to the individual. But Mike, the gap in the World Cup standings effectively down to 19 points when you take away the 4 worst results.
It's incredible, and of course Ligrid gets the Crystal Globe for this, the individual competition, 2 times first, 1 time second. And Martin Fourcade, for me, the master, he knew how to control himself under great pressure. He won this title 4 times.
Yeah, Julian Eberhardt for Austria across the line, starting number 92. That's not a bad ski. He would have been 4th had he hit all the targets. He hasn't. He's a long way off. But this man did. Sturla Holm Ligrid, who opened the season with his first ever World Cup win. He comes to the World Championships and he's won arguably the toughest event of all. The individual 20-kilometre, 20 targets out of 20, and delight for Ziggy Mazet. At last, the Norwegian men have a world champion here in Pokjuka.
Just thinking, Johannes Dale, he's a little in the shadow, isn't he? But a bronze medal for Dale today. It's a great performance, missing just one target. Take that one target away and he would have had the gold.
Yeah, 3 Norwegians in the top 5. They're definitely the team of the day. But in that Norwegian squad, it's the youngsters who have done the best. And that's such good. It's really good news, actually, for Norwegian biathlon, Mike, that it's not just about Johannes Tingesbø and his brother.
But it must be tough for Johannes Tingesbø now. You know, he misses 2 targets. We've seen a day where when he misses 2 that he can still absolutely challenge podiums and even win races. But it's too many targets missed today.
But as Bill Cox said, the former American cross-country skier, getting to the top is easy. Staying there is virtually impossible. And Johannes has to adapt to the men that he's up against. It was all about Johannes versus Martin Fourcade for the last 3 seasons. Now he's got some younger fish to contend with.
He certainly has. And when they're internal, when they're in your team, you're being watched. We saw Trevor Kears taking an unfortunate fall there, and there he is across the line.
Kalili looking to produce the best result for the RBU. They've got Goranichev in 15th at the moment. Loginov down in 28. Jake Brown, the best of the Americans, lying in 20th at the moment. Kalili should be able to get inside his time, having gone clear. He was lying in 6th when he went through 19.1. So there is a chance that Simonetta will be pushed down into 7th position. How's he done? He certainly looks to have raised his game on this last 4-kilometre loop.
Certainly his best ski form, I think we've seen all season. He's been back at IBU Cup, at the European Championships. He's lifted his game and he's mastered these 20 shots.
Yeah, what a transformation for Kalili with 20, goes into 6th. He holds off Simonetta, who gets pushed down into 7th. Ada, of course, shooting 19 out of 20. We've mentioned the Norwegians, Mike, because we watched Rasta Guyev coming in. A very late start. I haven't seen too much because he missed early on, and 2 misses putting him out of contention. Had he hit 20 out of 20, 1:30 behind would have put him into 6th place. Well, let's have a look at those who have claimed medals here in Pokjuka. Johannes Dale started relatively early. 1 mistake from Dale, but the quickest ski time of the top 3. He gets himself a bronze. The ever-present, ever-youthful Arndt Pfeiffer has done it again. He took gold back in 2019. He takes silver today, much to the delight of Mark Kirchner. Great tactics from Pfeiffer. He saved something for that last loop, and that turned his bronze into a silver. But there was nothing he could do about Sturla Holm Lygrid. Started fast, shot perfectly, and then survived the last 4,000 meters. He is the world champion for the first time. Well, that's it from Pokjuka for today. Hope you enjoyed that one. What an individual it was. Single mix relay tomorrow. Team selection is going to be as interesting as the race itself. Snooker coming up next on Eurosport. Do join us tomorrow morning. The single mix starts at 2:15 UK time, 15:15 if you're lucky enough to be in Pokjuka itself.
És a 52. helyre bejön Valamely. Nézzük százassal. Szemlicska. És itt jön Anton Dudcsenko, aki ugye utoljára rajtolt el, meg ő volt az utolsó elrajtoló. És a 45. helyre bőv. Oriáskov, bolgár, 4 lövőjével. És elméletileg véget is ért a férfi egyéni verseny. Úgyhogy Oriáskov volt az utolsó versenyző, akinek be kellett érni a célba, hogy hivatalosan is vége legyen a versenynek, úgyhogy véget ért a verseny. A németeknek végre most már van egy érmük. Végre. Egy ezüst. A norvégoknak lett egy arany. Meg egy bronz, úgyhogy ez nekik is jól jött azért. Bár mondjuk az meglepetés egy kicsit, hogy pont ugye Legreid lett a VB bajnok. De ez neki amúgy fekszik ez a szám, úgyhogy nem is véletlenül. És Tárjebből csak a 70. 6 hibával a 70. Tímust. És 100. lett Ralison 9 hibával. És akkor a képen látható Sturahon legrejt a egyéni 20 km-nek a lábbajnoka 2021-ben, úgyhogy ez az első világbajnoksága és az első VB címe.
Sturla Ride, world champion. That's just sounds unbelievable. How does it feel for you?
It's hard to believe. It's something you've dreamt about your whole life, and even though I had such a good season, I didn't expect to be a world champion. So it just feels incredible. Yeah.
It looked like no thoughts in your head, but what was in there before the last shooting?
Oh, I forget some thoughts that if I clean, then I can win gold. So I just had to try to stay focused and deliver 5 good shots. And when I did and heard I had a gap, I was extremely happy. But I was also very tired, so the last loop was a struggle with myself.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
A harmadik lett ugye Johannes Dahle, akinek ez az első éve a VB-ről, úgyhogy a második pedig Arndt Pfeiffer. Úgyhogy végre már a németeknek is van most már érvük. Háló Istennek végre. Bár még nyerniük még nem sikerült, de hátra van még a egyéni számokból még a tömegrajtos, de viszont ott a váltó. A vegyes páros, úgyhogy a szagági világkupa, Legrejt áll még mindig az élen, bőven, utána jön Bő, Goginov, Fiumai, Pfeiffer, Moravec, Éder, Dahle, Hofer és Sáktán az első 10. Az összetett világkupálása. Első Bő, után még ugye Legrejt és Dahle megelőzte Fiumájét. Úgyhogy és akkor jön a hivatalos díjátadó. Na, eddig így áll a érem táblázat, úgy hát a norvégoknak van 7, amúgy. Szóval hát, hogy ők vezettek összesen. Utána jönnek a franciák 5-tel, utána jönnek a svédek 4-jel, ugye hát a cseheknek van 1 aranyuk, ugye tegnap ugye Davidov révén, ugye Hauser és ugye hát a vegyes váltó miatt van ugye a osztrákoknak 2, a németeknek pedig ugye most lett 1, ugye Pfeiffer ellen, és ugye a fehér oroszoknak pedig ugye Hannes Szóla révén lett egy bronzérmük, ugye, amikor még a 7,5 km-es távol lett a harmadik. Úgyhogy végül is amúgy a norvégoknak van még 2-vel több ugye érmük, úgyhogy na, tekerjük akkor a diátadóra. Na, csak az első 3.
Ladies and gentlemen, the medals and the presents will be presented by Mr. Ole Kelly, IG President, accompanied by Mrs. Maya Bach, the Director of Slovenia Team Sport. Tretje mesto in bronasta kolajna za Norveško. Third place and the bronze medalist representing Norway.
És a harmadik helyzet Johannes Dahle. Második helyzet Arndt Peifel. És jön a világbajnok Stura Holm Legreid. És akkor szól a norvég himnusz, így végén.
Ladies and gentlemen, to honor the world champion, the national anthem of Norway. With a big applause. Ladies and
Na, srácok, akkor én ezekkel a képekkel el is búcsúzok azzal, hogy holnap jön akkor fél 3 körül a vegyes páros verseny, úgyhogy holnap is találkozunk. Viszont holnap már élőben, hogy fél 3-tól jön akkor a vegyes páros. Jó legyen egy szép napot és holnap jövünk a VB-ben, úgyhogy jók lehetek.